What if the biggest threat to your money isn't a market crash, but a war happening thousands of miles away? Because right now, while most people scroll headlines, something much bigger is unfolding. Fuel prices rising, costs increasing, growth slowing. This isn't just conflict. This is a chain reaction, and it's hitting the global economy in real time. War doesn't just destroy cities, it disrupts systems. And in today's world, those systems are global. Supply chains, energy markets, financial networks, everything is connected. So when conflict begins, the effects don't stay local. They spread across borders, across industries, across your everyday life. The first hit always comes from energy, oil, gas, fuel. War creates uncertainty, and markets hate uncertainty. Supply gets disrupted, exports get restricted, prices surge, and when energy prices rise, everything else follows. Transportation becomes expensive, electricity costs increase, production slows, because energy is the foundation of the modern economy. Then comes the second wave, manufacturing. Factories don't run on hope. They run on energy and materials. When fuel costs rise, so does production. Raw materials become expensive. Shipping costs increase. Delays multiply. And companies face a choice: absorb the cost or pass it to you. Most choose the second. And that's when the ripple becomes a wave. Prices rise everywhere. Food, transport, rent. This is inflation, but not the normal kind. This is shock-driven inflation, triggered by disruption and fueled by fear. Central banks respond by raising interest rates. Borrowing becomes expensive. Spending slows, and suddenly, growth begins to stall. This is where it becomes personal, because you don't see war in your city, but you feel it in your wallet. Fuel prices rise, groceries cost more, loans become harder to afford. Even small changes add up, because when borrowing costs rise, everything slows down. Businesses invest less, consumers spend less, and the economy begins to tighten. And this is where the warning signs appear. Global institutions like the International Monetary Fund have already raised concerns about a potential slowdown, because when multiple economies face the same pressure, it creates a synchronized effect: slower growth, lower investment, higher uncertainty, and in extreme cases, recession. This isn't the first time war has reshaped the economy. History shows the same pattern. Conflict leads to energy, shock leads to inflation, leads to slowdown. The difference today is scale, because now everything is connected. And that means the impact spreads faster and hits harder. From this crisis, three lessons stand out. War is not just political, it's deeply economic. Energy is the trigger that drives global impact. Inflation is often the hidden consequence of conflict. What begins as a regional issue can quickly become a global problem. But here's the twist. The biggest damage doesn't happen on the battlefield. It happens quietly, in markets, in prices, in decisions made far from the front lines. Because while the world watches the war, the economy is already reacting. And by the time most people realize it, the impact is already everywhere. If you want to understand how money really moves, in crises and chaos in real time, subscribe to Finance Club, because rule number one is to always talk about money.